you will, every year, the text, you look to this teaching. So now, for example, this practice, again, every those great masters always lay out so beautifully, so easy and so practical to the every practitioners. And there are practices going to divide it into 3 groups. The first part as the foundation, middle part as the principal part of the practices, and third is the concluding of the practices. Those are the 3 parts. First, generally, what the practice is we all know what practice means. We're practicing of our goodness. Goodness, as I discussed many times, or I mentioned to you, is our love, kindness, compassion. Relax our mind. Oh, relax, calm, and peaceful state. That is what we're going to practice. But with this practice, we like to become that, not just a practice as a tool to make that, but ourselves like to become peace, ourselves like become joy, peaceful, happy, and then appreciate it. As Buddha did. Buddha is, of course, we told the teacher, but Buddha become that. Buddha is true love. Buddha is true compassion. Buddha is true courage, commitment, the appreciation, respect. That is what the Buddha is. That is our practice that we like to become. And we do that practice, what it's doing? It's removing those all unwanted things that we don't like. The suffering, sadness, difficulties, troubles, emotions swinging up and down, those all removing, those all clearing. And then what comes out? As I said, joy, happy, appreciation, magical display of this universe. In ourselves magic. The whole beauty of the magic comes so brilliant, so perfectly, and it's so, everything comes so, has meanings. That really brings out that realization, the practice. So that is the what practices. So to do these practices, according to Vedic Buddhism, there is 2 practices, 2 ways to explore these qualities. This is called then the practicing such as chanting the mantra, chanting the sadhana. This is practice. This is the meditation. Chanting the mantra, chanting the sadhana is the meditation. Meditation. And then also silence, what we call meditation. That is a meditation. Both are meditation. Chanting is not just not meditating. Chanting is meditation. And what means meditation generally? Meditation means concentrating, abiding our mind in one single status, without disturbed by the distractions of the external force. The external force of the such as object of 5 senses, the form, sound, smell, taste, touch, and imagination, not disturbed. Our mind settles exactly where you landed, where you are, leading mind. Rest mind in that state, moving forward, is a great exploring of the beauty of the inner mind qualities. So therefore, there's 2, according to Vedic Buddhism, Vajrayana Buddhism has 2 practices, 2 meditation, 2 ways. Chanting, reciting mantra is meditation, and silence, as everybody, that is meditation. This generally, silence and chanting, meditation, both are not separated from each other. Both are the same. Same is nothing really big difference. Both are because performed, done by the mind. It's nothing else done by that. Our mind. And when mind is rested as we are designated, as we lead, every stage, what it brings? It brings joy and appreciation, and calm and peaceful, and devotion. And that all comes out. Then this is the great meditation practice. So with that understanding, now we begin to, for example, with this first practice. First, this part of this practice is Refuge and Bodhichitta. And then this is the one first practices. Refuge, briefly meaning of refuge is filled stone prison to Buddha Shakyamuni, right in front of our sky, and is surrounded by all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Arhatas, and great Bodhisattvas. At great Bodhisattvas and 16 Arhatas. and as well as all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they are right in front of our sky. Feel strongly that presence, that thought. During the practice, one of the mostly kind of obstacle to not achieving, not going well our practice is known as distractions. There are two distractions. Distractions, for example, when you're practicing, those are the dropping distractions and as well scattered distractions. Two distractions. The dropping means sleeping. During the practices, we start practicing, immediately kind of dullness came and we feel sleepy and lousy and our mind is not become so clear. That is the first distractions. So if that happened, we have to restart, reactivate our mind more clearly, bring up in the teaching, bring up the joy, bring up the devotion, bring up the bodhichitta. That clarity, that beauty, that strength, kind of clear away the dullness and then bring our meditation, concentration, practice become more clarity, more clear, brilliant status. And the second distraction is a scattered mind. Scattered mind, there's many differences. There's something sometimes scattered mind is so kind of like so small, so subtle, like under low currents distractions. Even sometimes we don't notice it is happening. That is very subtle distractions. Subtle. And the gross distractions then, such as doubt, hesitations, skepticals. During the practice, we bring all the intellectual ideas, and that then kind of also disturb the practice. Practice means we are settled. We settle with confidence, joy, and appreciation. During that 1 hour practices, hour practices, we're not going to think of all the different intellectual ideas taught during the practices. That means we're spoiling our own practice by ourselves with all those different thoughts. Then that is distraction. That will become our practice, become very kind of like not perfect. Like it's become kind of diluted practices. So for that reason, during the practices, meditating or practicing, we try to really strengthen our mind with the joy, start with the joy and the appreciation and the devotion and bodhichitta, and we settle the practice, whatever, whether you're chanting, try to follow the meaning of the teaching, what you're chanting. For example, meaning, it has meaning. That word is a reminding of our meditation. Re-strengthen that. If we follow our mind with the meaning of the word we're chanting, that is meditation. That is practice. That is concentrations. Concentrations. That is very so beautiful. And mingle that with joy, with appreciation. Appreciation. Then it's so special practices. When it comes to such as vipassana or the shamatha meditation, it's deep, without silence, without verbal or any silence meditation, still mind with that. Relax in that state. Without again disturbed by any of those drowsiness as well as scattered thought. If we are able to do that for a few seconds or 1 minute, our mind practice becomes so perfect, so beautiful. That is what really practice means. Practice means. So, with this understanding, feel strong presence of the Buddha Shakyamuni right in front of the sky. When you feel Buddha, it is some that practice is meditative. Really, in the teaching at the beginning of this text, said in Samajara Sutra said, whoever think of the Buddha as a golden light with beautiful, calm and soothing qualities, peaceful. If whoever think that is great meditation. As Buddha said in the teaching, it's true. We think that calm, that peaceful, that soothing, that blessing and light. If we relax and mingle our mind with that and not disturbed by any other emotional, intellectual ideas, that is relaxing. We're giving mind as good vacations and so beautiful, so relaxed. You're touching to our own nature beautiful. And then surrounded with all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and Arhats. Even though they appear in different forms and different gestures, meaning is the same. The embodiment of love, kindness, compassion, wisdom, they appear right in front of us. They're totally enlightened. Once upon a time, they are similar beings, as many of us, heavily loaded by the emotions. But through their courage and commitment, bodhicitta and devotion, they become as these great beings. They are our role models. They are our examples. If we follow the continually as they did, we will become one of them. And therefore, with this thought, full of devotion, full of confidence, relax, and then take the refuge. And the refuge prayer is, this is the fourth prayer. This is four line of refuge prayer and bodhicitta prayer is so famous in the Tibetan Buddhism. Whole Tibetan Buddhism. This is not just only the one school of Tibetan Buddhism. The chanting, this every Buddhist schools of the Tibetan are chanting. Many of great masters say this was composed by great Dharma king Tsewang, who was emanation of the magician. He composed it. Many masters say this was composed by the great master Atisha, who is again one of the great masters who visited Tibet. Either way, this prayer is so famous, all schools of Tibetan Buddhism, everybody chants. This is blessed word. So many great masters, so many great practitioners chanted throughout the centuries. Every Tsewang composed the first time, it started in 7th centuries, 8th centuries. Every Atisha composed it started from the 11th century, around 11th century. Then continually chanted by so many, millions and millions of practitioners. It's really so powerful, blessed praise. These first two lines are refuge prayers. And the second two are bodhicitta prayers. Refuge, essence of refuge is confidence. Confident, trusting, devotion in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and at the same time understand the meaning of the quality of our lives of other beings. In the samsara is, as said, it is again, we have such beautiful lives, but yet it's not permanent. It is changing, this changing everything. It's not just our lives are changing, lives of everyone's changing. Everything is changing. There's nothing is last forever, ever. Bring that clearly understanding. This is magical. This is the dream. This is the beautiful. Well, I am the beautiful dream status, beautiful magical state. I'm going to make even more beautiful dream, more beautiful magic. Magic that will reflect to me, to others, with courage and confidence, commitment, with the blessings of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and please bless me. I will follow your examples with that determination, courage, and close connection to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha is known as bravely taking refuge. Refuge means mingling ourselves with Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, with full of confidence. Until now, we've been wandering everywhere. We've been roaming everywhere, wandering. But today, we begin settle to our own home, sweet home. Our home, sweet home is the shelter. This is the refuge places that we are going to explore as Buddha did, as this great master did. And that to kind of feel that confidence, courage, and then say this word. How long I'm going to do this? Not just this short period while I'm doing these prayers. I'm going to take this close connection, close to my heart, to this until, as in the teachings, until I become the Enlightenment, until I become the Buddha. I will take that. I'm doing this not just for myself, but for all the sentient beings. For every living being, I'm going to make that. Feel that strongly, sincerely in heart and mind. It's so special. It's so calming, so soothing, so egolessness. This is the egolessness statement that we're making. We're proclaiming that in a way to our own courage, confidence, without any fear, without any hesitation, without interference of the egos and greed, self-importance. We're proclaiming it. That's what refuge means. The settle, this refuge is first footstep to our journey to the joy to the enlightenment, joy that will free the suffering, sadness of ours and all living beings. So that is the what refuge is. And the third line and fourth line is then bodhicitta. And Bodhichitta, of course, all know, you know, Bodhichitta means mind of enlightenment. Mind of enlightenment. That if we translate it, sounds very fancy, sounds very special. True is very special. But what means that? What is that? If we closer look, that is true love, true compassion, true wisdom. That is the mind of enlightenment. This is not something that Buddha owned by Buddhas, or this owned by some Gurpema Sambha owned, or Tara owned, or something. This is our nature, your nature, my nature. We all have this nature. Today we have glorified that nature, repolish that nature. We bring out that nature in the midst of the habit patterns. Patterns not covered up with habit patterns. We bring up that qualities. We bring up the true love. We bring up the true compassion. We bring up the true understanding to benefit for all the sentient beings. Love and compassion and wisdom are the ultimate remedy to remove the suffering, the difficulties, troubles of every single living being, and including ourselves. There's nothing else beside that. If we think carefully, whether we're a believer or non-believer, whether we are following any religion, this is universal practice. That's what His Holiness Dalai Lama said many times. Love and compassion is a universal practice. Not just the preciousness of the human beings, but preciousness of everyone. That's what the great Master Buddha said. Everyone inherited the Buddha nature. Everyone. Buddha started with love. Enlightenment, realization started with true love, true compassion, and true wisdoms. That everyone has. Human beings, non-human beings, everyone who has, whether we see, whether we don't see, every day is beings. That is their nature. That is our nature. We are touching Bodhichitta, means touching to the core of our own true beings. This is the Buddha teaching them many times as the Buddha nature, our enlightenment, primordial wisdom, primordial qualities. This is something inherent qualities. Until now, until the teaching of the Buddha Shakyamuni, we covered with habit patterns, with all those egos, all these emotions. It's covered up. It's just completely confined underneath that garbage cans. Today we bring out that beautiful shining diamond, jewel. Precious, more precious than the diamond, more precious than wish-fulfilling jewels in the Buddha teaching. This is what we do. And we're doing this for all the beings. That's how it's so open statement, so encouraging, enlightened statement, as in the teaching said. By the merit of the generosity in others by me, may I attain the Buddhahood for the sake of sentient beings. For every living being, may I become the Buddha. That was really making the statement. It's so special. How are we going to explore this beautiful preciousness of the love and kindness and compassion? That is the tools, here said, by the merit of generosity and others by me. These are the tools to discover our precious qualities, precious nature of this Bodhichitta, the enlightened mind. We're going to discover by the tools of the merits. Those merits are known as then generosity merit of generosity, merit of the moralities, merits of the passions, merits of the joyful effort, merits of the concentrations, and merits of the wisdoms. Those are the tools we're going to reveal these beautiful natures. Those are known as in Buddha teaching, as many of you know, the 6 paramatas. That paramata means one who lead beyond the dualities. Lead the duality. Duality is the world of habit patterns, world of the negative emotions. But paramata, Sanskrit means one who takes the other side, the shore of the non-duality status. That is the one which will lead. These 6 paramatas. So here, of course, this is abbreviated, but here, by others mean the other 5 paramatas, that which again I listed already. Those are the morality, and patience, and then joyful effort, concentrations, and as well as wisdoms. So by that, and then reaching enlightenment. So that's the Bodhisattva. Again, this Bodhisattva is so special. It's one of the extraordinary teachings of the Buddha Shakyamuni, that who proclaimed in the teaching always, Bodhisattva is a lion's roar of the Buddha Shakyamunis. It's like lion's roar. It's fearless statement. This has nobody can against the Bodhisattva. Nobody can distribute to this Bodhisattva in the logically, in a reasonable ways. Can't ignore this. Love, nobody can ignore the true love. Nobody can ignore the true compassion. Nobody can ignore true understanding of the meaning of the value of love and compassion. Nobody can understand. Therefore, this is the extraordinary lion's roar by our gracious teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, who practiced this all the way to his enlightenment. When he became enlightenment, he became this Bodhisattva state. He saw that. That is what he told. And this is our nature, and this is the nature of everyone. So that is the Bodhisattva. And the next one is then Paul Boundless. Paul Boundless is again is part of the body, is Bodhisattva. Reactivating Bodhisattva. Again, glorifying the Bodhisattvas. And Bodhisattva generally, I think many of you maybe you heard, there's two Bodhisattvas. Wishing Bodhisattva and actualizing Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva is the mind of enlightenment, love and compassion, wisdom mind that keeps strongly in the mind, wishing that to everyone be good and happy and peace and joy. Wishing that sincerely from that in our heart. That is known as wishing Bodhisattva. It's just our wish. It's beautiful motivation, is wish. With that motivation, we need to begin to reflect that in the actions. That is known as actualizing that wishing Bodhisattva by action. Actions, wishing Bodhisattva. So actualizing Bodhisattva and wishing Bodhisattva. This whole boundless thought is the true or the essence of the wishing Bodhisattva. This is, as great Master Lungchipa said, the wishing Bodhisattva practiced by 4 boundlesses. And how are we going to do 4 boundless practices? As in his teaching says. So here, first is boundless of love. First is boundless love. Second is boundless compassion. And third is boundless joy. And fourth is boundless of equanimities. Those are known as 4 boundless practices. Joy, love, compassion, joy, and equanimity. Why is it called boundless? This great master's teaching said there is 3 where it means boundless. And nature is boundless, and image is boundless, resolve, imagination is boundless, and the result is boundless. That is 3 ways, boundless. Nature is boundless means when we start thinking without any hesitation, without any doubt, with great love to all the living beings, where we develop in our heart has no restrictions. No restrictions of the love. Love has no boundaries. And therefore, nature is boundless. Nature of the way mind is developed, we're not restricted by the egos, we're not restricted by the traditions, habit patterns. Our true love is open to everyone. Where we develop it is totally free, open, as like open sky. Open sky. Therefore, it is known as boundless, limitless. The image, as I said, is boundless. Where are we going to project that true love? To all the beings. All the beings. The beings that are in the Buddha teaching said is limitless. As far as the sky goes, that far there is living beings. As far as the space goes, that far there is beings. As far as the beings there, that that much there's karma and negative emotions. As much as there's karma and negative emotions, therefore that many also difficulty, challenge and sufferings. So therefore, our love, what we started, is not just limited, but all the living beings. We love all the living beings, everyone. Open that heart and open that mind, that attitude from your heart and project that to all the living beings is known as then the image, the object. Sorry, maybe I shouldn't use image. Object is boundless. The nature is boundless. Object is boundless. Object is boundless. Because of that boundless, the result is boundless. Benefit is boundless. Benefit to yourself is boundless. Benefit to the jewel is boundless. Benefit to the beings is boundless. We cannot count the result both ways. It's immediately benefiting to ourselves, one who did this, purify all negativities, obstacles, and all those bad energies, the heavy energy, the stressful energy, that dragging down us all the time, down and down, that cleared away, that burden. It lightened up ourselves in our heart and mind. Truly, it is so special. That sincerely wishing that thought and making these statements, this praise in the presence of the Buddha, Dharma, Sanghas, right in front of the sky, that is the most powerful practices. One of the most powerful practices. We really express that with sincerely in the presence of the Buddha, Dharma, and wishing that sincerely to all beings is truly so special. That's what the great master, Khenpo Padma Samye Ling, always said. Even just to do this boundless practice of love, love itself the great practices. And then compassion, joy, and happiness, this economic, each is so special, so powerful practices. And there's so many beautiful stories. Even thinking of the one good heart feeling thought, big result. So many stories, beautiful stories. I mean, you can read those things later, and maybe we have some time you can discuss those. Really, so many beautiful stories. Even one single beautiful thought, change the whole vision of that individual's goal in the future. So powerful, so special, so benefit. So this is known as wishing bodhichitta. Wishing bodhichitta. The essence. We wish that sincerely to everyone and pray this 3 times in the when our day begins in the morning, when we wake up this. Do this take these 3 refuge in bodhichitta and do this prayer. That we're setting beautiful set for whole day, ourselves. Something so pure. Nobody can distribute this. Nobody can say this is not right. It's truly beautiful. In the Buddha teachings, even the gods and the Buddhas cannot object that. This is so special. Gods, Brahma, Indra, Shiva, Vishnus, gods, anybody cannot say this is not right. Right. It's truly, we're making something beautiful. And then, after all, we're touching to our core of true nature, our own being, our nature, basic nature, without the interference of the ego clinging, without the interference of the greed, self-important. Something so divine, so unique, so authentic. That is what it is. So that is what is the first part of these practices. First foundation practice. With this foundation practice, once you do these practices, and then we do, as in the teaching said here. First, we in here, teaching said by Great Master Mipham said, all phenomena appears, they do not truly exist. Keep this meaning in mind while reciting these following practices. So everything is magic. Truly, it is magic. Where it came is magic. Where it is here is magic. Where it's ending is magic. Magic. That the universal. Of course, we can't say immediately that, but there's many Buddha teaching, logic and all those things. This universe is not here in once upon a time. This is our world where we are. It's also came as many of us came. And now it's existing. And also it's changing roughly every time. It's translucid status. And then also it will end. And when we came here, we're not here 50 years ago, 60 years ago, not here. And now we're here. And after 50, 60 years ago, I don't think we will here again. Same thing. It's just magic. We came as magic, we're here as magic, we will conclude it as magic. And magic continues according to Buddha teaching. The spiral continues. This is true. It is what it is. Not just we are talking to the others, their magic, ourselves that. Everyone is that. We look into the magic, we look watching to the magic, we listen to the magic, we're feeling the magic. Everything is translucent states. Within the magic, there is a magic of the beauties. Beauty of love, compassion. They are magic too. Loving kindness, compassion. Buddhas are magics. Enlightened beings are magics. With this realization, if we do that, we are in the Buddha's teaching, we're touching close to where natures are. Natures are without interfering, disturbing dualities. With that understanding, then he said in the teaching, and we work like the Buddha Shakyamuni. And stand right in front of our skies. Sky, we can remain ourselves as what we are. But for Buddha, if we're right in front of sky. Sky, and then all the teachings said here. So I don't have to, you all know, the Buddha is a total embodiment of true love and compassion, wisdom. That is what the Buddha, not just that Buddha, but Buddha embodies all the Buddha's enlightenment in one single state as Buddha Shakyamuni. So calm, so peaceful, so soothing. Buddha is truly calm, truly simple. Look to read his statement. From the first day, his teaching, all the way to enter enlightenment. His teachings on the true love, true compassion, true wisdoms, and respect and appreciation to everyone. There's nothing higher, lower, anything. Everyone is equal. Everyone is the same. Everyone the same nature. Everyone, when they walk for their nature, everyone will get the same realization, same goal as Buddha did this. Those statements are very uplifting and ushering us. It's truly so beautiful. This is true. It's not just Buddha making us to please. That's what it is, truly. We all have that qualities. That is, and to visualize that truly as embodiment of all enlightenment. In one single state came as Buddha. And then the living Buddha, not just truly feel that, truly see that right in front of us. And this Buddha is surrounded by, then such as all the different Buddhas. Buddha Padma Samye Buddha Samana Buddha, Buddha Vedyadhara, you know, all at Bodhisattva, 16 Arahats. And this